Hey scrapbookers, this is Trisha at Club Scrap and welcome to our make and take. This is our Expo now. If you are at home, all you really need to have for this make and take to be successful is a 12-inch paper trimmer, and I do like my guillotine style trimmer. It's very efficient, and then you also need 5 sheets of paper. So I'm starting out with 2 lime green 12x12s, 1 black plain, 1 blue plain, and 1 print. This is a duplex print, so you have a lot of different options for that. These papers came from Club Scrap's May Fly a Kite collection. So I'm just using papers from one of our most recent monthly kits. And I have this little piece of paper here because this is actually the scrap that you will have once you finish making the pages. Now at Club Scrap, every month our members receive a bonus page formula. So that's what we're going to be working with. And what I like about the bonus page formula is you can use it again and again with any papers as listed in the gather section. Once the papers are trimmed, you can literally create this layout exactly as you see it, or you can go your own way and do your own thing. Of course, that's fine as well. Now helping me today, I also am using something called an accordion pocket file. Normally when we scrapbook our kits at Club Scrap, we make 8 layouts at a time. And those pieces are cut all at the same time and then filed into one of 4 pockets. In this case, I'm still going to use the accordion pocket file, but only the first 2 pockets to separate all of the materials used on the left side and all the materials used on the right side. So I'm going to follow these very detailed trimming instructions, which you will be able to download. And then on each piece, do you see the little L and the R? That tells you whether the piece is used on the left page or the right page. So it's just a very clear method by which you can be extremely successful in your scrapbooking. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take paper A. I've designated this print as paper A, place it in my trimmer, and I'm going to find 7 inches, make sure the paper is level at the top edge, stabilize on the clear bar, and it slices like butter. Okay, so this larger 7-inch piece is going to go in the first pocket, which I've designated as my left page, and then this 5x12-inch piece will be placed in the second pocket, which will end up on the right side of the layout. Now for paper B, I'm going to be doing quite a bit of trimming. So the way this works is here's the diagram and here are the trimming steps. So if you're confused by the diagram, please always just follow the steps and ignore the sketch, okay? So my first cut here is going to be at 11.5. Make sure you stabilize again and then slide to 11. And then 9 and 6. Now if I'm going too fast, don't worry, just pause as needed. Okay, now take that 6x12-inch piece and rotate it so it's horizontal. We'll make 2 cuts. The first one's at 8 and then 4. Now we've created 3 pieces of paper that are all the same size. 2 of them are used on the first page, 1 of them used on the right side, so I'll put that in my second pocket. Now I'm going to take the other strip. This is 3x12. We'll cut that horizontally at 8 and 4. Gather up the 3 rectangles you just made. They're all the same size. Those will be used on the right side of the layout, so second pocket. And now we have this narrow strip here. It's 2x12. We're going to cut on all the even numbers. So we'll trim at 10, 8, 6, 4, and 2. Okay, so 3 of these squares are used on the left side, 3 are used on the right side. You can see how those pockets are really convenient. They keep everything organized in a very small amount of vertical space. Now I'm going to take 1 of each of these remaining strips and put 1 in each pocket. There, everything has been used on the first 2 sheets. Now I'm going to grab paper C, which I've designated to be this beautiful deep black. And most of our papers here at Club Scrap are this 80-pound cover weight. It's just lovely to work with. And I'll trim at 11.25, then 10.5, and 6.25. Now bear with me, we're going to rotate and we'll cut at 8.5. and 4.25. So these measurements are a little bit more complex, but you've got this. I've got these 2 larger rectangles that are the same size for the left side of my layout. And then I have this smaller rectangle. Let's trim this horizontally at 6 and 3. take both of these rectangles and put them in the first pocket for the left side of the layout. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to your one and only scrap for making this entire double page spread. So I'll set that aside. And then I'm going to take the next strip. This currently measures 4 1/4 by 12. And don't worry about that. It's just the next one on the pile, provided you're letting the pieces stack up next to the trimmer blade. Let's trim this horizontally at 9 3/4, 6 1/2, and 3 1/4. Gather up the first 3 rectangles you made, and if everything went according to plan, they should all be the same size. Those are used on the right side of the layout, and this narrow strip is used on the left. There should be 2 more narrow strips, 1 for each pocket. So again, we're finished with our trimming, and the only thing we're not going to be using, you could probably find a home for this, I'm guessing, but this is really our only scrap. And the beauty of this is there's never any question of what you're doing when you're scrapbooking, because all of the plans have been laid for your success. Now finally bring in the last 2 sheets of paper. This is in the gather list. This is paper D. So I needed 2 of those. Place them side by side in front of you. Now if you have your accordion pocket file, or simply you've been keeping piles, everything from the first pocket will go on the left side of the layout, and everything from the right pocket goes to the right side of the layout. And if you were at our Make and Take at an expo, this is what you'd be doing right now. Okay, so let's begin by placing the largest pieces flush with the inner gutter of the double page spread. So we're just kind of sharing this print from one side to the other in a nice way. Okay, now I'm following my little map of assembly. So the next thing I'm going to try to do maybe on the right page is find these nested photo mats. So I'll take 3 rectangles. This is paper C, and nest them with 3 perfectly fitting rectangles cut from paper B. And then below that, we get to have these nested border strips. It helps these border strips help anchor things and divide the space in an attractive way. And then I'm going to take 3 of these squares and just march them along the edge here. And how about a horizontal photo in that spot? Everything is in its place. And I'm going to continue to follow the map for the right side of the layout. How about we begin with a couple of nested photo mats on the left. It's sort of like assembling a jigsaw puzzle in a really fun way, because the pieces are much easier. Plus they're organized, so they're easy to find in your little accordion pocket file, all as well. Then we're going to carry through what we did on the other side by adding this nested border strip here across the bottom edge. And then how about 3 accent squares here in the lower left, and then a spot maybe for some journaling or another photo here. And all I need to do at this point is adhere the elements, add my photos, and I'm done. Now you might be thinking, well, Trisha, I always start with my photo and then create my layouts. But I'll tell you what, I've been doing it this way, which may seem backwards to you, for many years with great success. Here's an example. I took this finished layout and then I went to my photos, and I thought, what can I use for some pictures to finish this layout? So I decided what could be more appropriate than featuring one of the recent expos of 2019. So here I am with my team. I've got Karen and Rita, here's me, and we are at the Milwaukee Scrapbook Expo, and these are the pictures that I used to complete my fun layout that I just made. And you can see kind of how I added the pictures. I spread out one single photo. Here's the show floor. Here's my friend Karen sleeping in our hotel room. We're having a really nice time, having some good food at these expos, which, oh, I miss so very much. So you can see how all this comes together. And I want to show you just one additional tool that I use to complete my pages successfully. I have a package, a value pack of rulers, and I don't scrap without these rulers. The one I use probably the most is this 3x14 size. So if you've ever glued a border strip on a page and you walked away and you came back and realized it was running downhill or uphill, I'm kind of a downhill girl. My grid ruler really helps me keep that level. So when I attach my strips, I use my grid ruler to line it with the edge of the paper, rest the strip against the ruler's edge, and drop it into place. That way I know it's perfectly level. And then when I attach things across the top of the page, for example, in a set like this, I can use the ruler to help me place and space my elements And I did the same thing here. If you checked all of the pieces that I've attached to this layout, every last one would be level and even and nicely spaced. And that's something that I really, during the 21 plus years of scrapbooking I've been doing, this has really helped up my game. I also have a smaller 2x8, and I joke because I use this one when I can't find this one. You know how that goes, right? But the 2x8 is really nice for card making or just working with smaller areas. Now, where does this gigantic 8x8 come in? Well, when I'm finishing and selecting photos for my pages, like let's say I have a smaller picture. So I hover my 8x8 over the space that I want to add a photo, and I can see here the mat is 3.5 by 3. So I go to my picture, which is 4x6 for starters, and I hover over it about that size, and I think, I think this picture will work just fine for this spot if I crop it. Same thing for this. So I can go through and really get a sneak peek of where a crop will take my photo. Like, will I lose Rita's face if I trim this photo down to 5 3/4 by 3 3/4? No, I'm good to go on all of these. So this is my final tool that I use to finish my layouts efficiently. And I'll tell you what, I'm pretty much caught up with my scrapbooking. I'm going back and even scrapbooking more pictures from certain events that have already been scrapbooked, simply because this is so efficient. So how does it work if you're a Club Scrap member? Well, basically, you receive a kit every month that we design. Everything about it is original, all of the artwork. We pulled together a gorgeous color palette of papers made in the United States. All of our papers are printed in the United States, and our kits are assembled right here as well. Our stencils, even our rulers, everything's made here, which is really cool. And we pull this kit together and we send it to you, but we don't just leave it there. Once you receive your kit, you can go ahead and download some very, very detailed instructions. And these instructions are built to look just like that formula that we worked through together earlier, except it's more specific. So here are the diagrams that we trimmed together to make our page. And this is what you would do if you remember. You just follow along with the trimming diagrams. And plus, I also provide you with a monthly workshop video tutorial so that you don't have to go it alone. I will always walk you through the process of scrapbooking our monthly kits. Then I also provide you with a very detailed image and supply list for every single layout. So if you question something that's on the layout, then you can look in the ingredient list to verify what's there, what size it is. And by the time you're finished making all 8 pages that our kits create, you have very little waste. The scraps are indicated by small X's on the diagram. So here's one little scrap and another little scrap. That's it. So 2 tiny pieces not used in the making of your pages. So then, yes, you can create the pages exactly as they're shown. There's no guesswork really, but you still get the joy of trimming and assembling and creating all of your layouts. Here I have some photos added to this final page of the set. This was May's Fly a Kite collection, and next month our kit will be called Vintage Americana, and it's going to be just beautiful. Again, all original designs. So I hope you will consider giving Club Scrap a try. And if you're interested in learning more about the accordion pocket file, no, I don't sell these already made, but I do have a kit available that helps you make this. I consider it a starter kit. You do need a score pal or something to score with. And the starter kit includes a 2-ounce bottle of our awesome bookbinding glue, a needle-tipped glue applicator, the labels and the Velcro, or hook and loop dots rather, used to hold this onto the back of your trimmer base, plus all the pocket labels, and a full detailed video tutorial of how to assemble the accordion pocket file. So I hope these tools and tips and techniques have been helpful to you. Thank you so much for participating in our Make and Take. And if you get a chance and you finish your pages, I would love to see what you do with this page formula. You can use it again and again. You can rotate the pages and just have a great time. No more guesswork. We just guarantee your success. Hey, if you're interested in shopping at clubscrap.com, enter the code EXPO NOW at checkout to receive free shipping on orders over $40 and to save and shop as a member. Hope to see you soon.